Hello everyone, this is San, and you're listening to Sanhuyenpodcast. Hello everyone, and I'm the mysterious co-host. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting here with San in such a wonderfully captivating space. And where is this? Dalat, right. Today, as soon as San stepped off the plane, I felt, well, from this afternoon until now, this is my first day in Dalat, and I wish I could explore more. But it rained for most of the afternoon. Yet, right after I got off the plane, it was surprisingly sunny, almost mockingly warm. At that moment, I was wearing a sweater, but I had to take it off. I was so worried because I've always wanted to come to Dalat for its cold weather. Suddenly, today, I felt a little anxious. But after traveling a few dozen kilometers from the airport to Dalat city center, I truly felt that profound cold. You really have to wear a sweater here, friends. You see, I'm wearing a sweater now. It's almost 10 p.m. And tonight, I didn't drink any tamkin tea, if I were to read a book and chat with you tonight. Well, today is my first day here, but it's only been half a day because it started at 12 p.m. and rained a lot. After that, I had a little time this evening. San ate a few dishes, and most notably, I got to hear Vũ Cát Tường sing. That's one of the reasons I came back to Dalat this season to listen to Vũ Cát Tường. I really love Vũ Cát Tường voice. I feel like nothing could be more fitting for the romantic atmosphere here than her voice. I just finished listening to her music and just got home. So my emotions are really overflowing. Today, San had steamed rice rolls with chicken offal and chicken hot pot. Today seems to be a lot of chicken, but these are two dishes I tell you to try when you come to Dalat. The most important thing about coming to Dalat, San feels, is getting to enjoy food in Dalat's slightly chilly air. And the people of Dalat have such a gentle, distinct vibe, very different from when I'm in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City. Each place has its own uniqueness, and Dalat in particular has a very special, warm, and sweet charm. What has impressed San the most about Dalat over the years? Actually, I've been to Dalat many, many times compared to other places. Maybe I'll visit other places once, but Dalat I come frequently and always want to return. Because my feeling for Dalat isn't just about delicious food or the weather. It's like I find more peace here. The people here are also very gentle. The weather here, of course, has its sunny and rainy moments, but overall, it's quite gentle and comfortable. In the past, one thing that really impressed San about Dalat was that it was the city of no horns, no red lights, no unnecessary honking, and no big cyclos. That's a lot of no's, but indeed, Dalat used to have many no's. Now there are some differences. Because, well, today I drove and people were honking a lot. Traffic lights are popping up everywhere. Since forever, San has rarely used the car horn. I usually use my mouth to honk, if you can write that. I rarely use the actual horn, partly because when I drive, my hand isn't very comfortable pressing the horn. I almost never do. And listening to car horns makes me feel a bit tired, annoyed, and stressed, along with the incredibly skillful driving of the truck drivers. But of course, despite all that, my love for Dalat remains the same. Just recently, I saw a couple when I went to apply for a number they got engaged. The man had lived in the US for 20 years, then flew back here to propose to her. I think that's quite a beautiful ending for a couple. Sometimes people say that coming to Dalat breaks couples up. That's not true, is it? I also think it's not true. Often, people blame Dalat when they no longer love each other, using it as an obvious excuse. I don't believe that. I think human affairs are mostly about humans. People say, favorable timing, geographical advantage, and human harmony. But the reason can't just be Dalat, it's about our own emotions. Right? So, for all of you out there, if you're holding hands, going to Dalat, and then breaking up with your partner, you should reconsider. Don't you think? Maybe many of you listening now feel assert closeness. And this random forest, we're just random, that's all. Mysterious co-host, is there anything else you'd like to ask, San? If you had to choose your favorite drink to describe San's personality, what would it be? What would you choose that you think suits your personality best? San, I think it would be a type of juice with many vegetables. It would definitely have celery, which has a distinct smell not everyone can drink. But it would also have a bit of guava, the common, accessible kind that anyone can drink or buy. So, it should also have a little pineapple, giving it a slightly sour and sassy edge. It's very colorful. That's the kind of juice I often drink: celery, guava, and pineapple. Celery makes up the largest portion, probably around a 6:2 ratio, 6 parts celery, 2 guava, and 2 pineapple. My personality is quite complex, just like that juice. Mysterious co-host, when San comes to dalat, you say dalat is less chaotic, more peaceful. And sometimes we come to dalat to escape that chaos or to find balance in life. Do you think that's how it is for you? There's a saying, a sad person never finds joy in any scenery. Actually, when we're burdened with worries, no matter where we are, we'll still be burdened. So I don't come here to escape anything. Because I'm someone who has learned to accept everything that happens in life and turn it into an indispensable part, whether it's chaos or calmer moments. But honestly, the atmosphere here is indeed very gentle and comfortable, making people feel like they can lean on it. Sometimes, people don't know how to accept everything that happens, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine when we can't control everything or haven't learned to balance. We can still find a place where we feel light and peaceful, like listening to music in the evening, enjoying food, talking with friends, or even going alone. But San thinks that deep down, every problem originates from within ourselves. This balance and peace come from within. So no matter where you are, if you're still holding onto worries and sorrows, they will remain there. They won't disappear. If we try to run from them, we'll eventually have to face them anyway, and sometimes they'll be even heavier. That's why I always remind myself to learn to face everything, even when it's very difficult. And sometimes I do hide, but I know I can't hide forever. It's like a problem or something, it's still there and won't vanish. Often, we think that if we run away, we lose it completely, all our worries and burdens disappear. But in reality, they're still there, and they even multiply. Even now, I'm not always at peace. There are times when I'm very stressed. But because I've learned to accept it, I don't feel overly stressed or anxious. Honestly, I don't know why people have to go through so many ups and downs, joys and sorrows, to learn how to balance. Otherwise. Mysterious co-host, what's the secret? San, I don't know what you'd call a secret. Sometimes, it's because people have been sad for too long and now they don't want to be sad anymore. So, I don't want to prolong this sadness. Maybe if I encounter the same sorrow again, I have to examine why I'm repeating old mistakes, instead of just being sad like before. When we first experience heartbreak, we might lose our appetite, lose sleep, even lose 7 kilograms, and it takes 6 or 7 months to return to normal life. But the second time is different, and subsequent times are even more so. And no one can sustain the same joy forever. The first time you reach 100,000 subscribers, you're thrilled, but when you hit 200,000 or 300,000, it feels different. Joy is just like that. Or when you buy a pair of shoes or a bag, you might be happy for a moment, then it passes. I once shared about the one-day rule, meaning I don't grieve for too long or celebrate too excessively before looking ahead. Because life isn't a destination, it's a journey. Right, it means we still have to keep living. Even if today I'm upset or today I achieve a huge success, I still have to keep living. Life goes on. Many people achieve their dreams and then feel disappointed and tired because they have nothing left to strive for. But sometimes, when someone sees that success, they forget that they still have to move forward and achieve new peaks in life, right? We are allowed to be sad, to be hurt, and to feel pain, but we shouldn't prolong it. We should be strong for a certain period. Maybe I'll be happy for 2 or 3 days, but then I still have to continue living because life must go on. Some people live purely by instinct, but humans differ from animals because we have thought, reasoning, and we know how to control our actions. Of course, we should live by our emotions, but we shouldn't be overly dependent on that instinct. We need to control ourselves, and that takes a long time to train. At first, maybe I'll be sad for a month, then it gradually decreases. Maybe I'll be happy for a week, then for just 1 day. So that tomorrow, when I wake up, I can move forward. The sky is still blue. Mysterious co-host, and many young people out there are adrift in life, right? Does San have any advice for young people looking for balance? San, I think you shouldn't try too hard to find balance because it's something very hard to define precisely. What exactly is balance? Is it working 5 hours or 9 hours a day? It's about knowing yourself. You have to give yourself a chance to truly experience all emotions in life, even during your busiest and most leisurely moments. And then, through those experiences, you realize what you prefer, what makes you happier. Because some people feel joy when they work, when they bring value to others. Some people just like to stay home, do nothing, and feel happy being a bit idle. Perhaps we should ask ourselves what truly makes us happy so we can experience more of those things in life, and not pressure ourselves into always needing balance. Because in this youth, when we've just graduated, we're earning money and dealing with relationships, It's very hard to find balance, friends. Extremely hard to balance, even later when we get married and have children. Sometimes it's just about knowing when enough is enough. Often, we gain 1 unit of money but then lose 10. That can make us tired. Instead, we can set a goal of earning 2 units from one and just start slowly. Often, we look at others too much, seeing how happy and joyful they are, and then compare ourselves, feeling like we work tirelessly all day and don't have their leisure. So knowing when enough is important. Sometimes, knowing enough is part of balance. So everything we have now, youth, innocence, or even not being successful yet, isn't a big problem to worry about. It's simply about appreciating what we have and continuing to move forward. If you're tired, rest a bit. It's okay. Don't try to force yourself to power through too much in this world. Mysterious co-host. And obviously, when we talk about balance, people often think of the concept of the 4 burners, right? San, yes. Mysterious co-host. So people choose to turn them on or off. But obviously, how can you turn off one of the 4 burners? You can't just turn one off. San, this is how I see it. I wouldn't turn any of them off. Instead, I'd make one of them burn very brightly. For example, with money, I'd focus on it until it burns intensely to the point where it can't be extinguished. And when I'm not actively tending to it, it operates on its own. We shouldn't always be powering through everything. Often people think love is like that, it has to be intense. But some things are very natural. When you meet the right person, 2 people naturally understand each other and grow together without you having to quit your job to be in love, or having to quit your job to take care of your family. Many people think they're too busy to care for family, but sometimes it's just a 5-minute phone call. Looking back, there's no burner that needs to be completely extinguished. Human life cannot turn anything off. Connecting with people or earning money coexist, and we have to learn to balance them. When we were young, we had fewer responsibilities, so it was different. But as we grow, our responsibilities increase, so we ourselves must take in more energy to be able to balance. No burner can be completely cut off, because once you turn it off, it's very hard to reignite. If it's still burning, even just a slow ember, you can make it blaze again. Once a relationship is lost, it's so hard to reconnect. The same goes for making money. Sometimes we stop earning for a long time, and it's very hard to get back into it. The important thing is to keep things balanced, to keep those fires burning. It's just that at certain stages, we have a certain burst of energy and find ways to make things work on their own, instead of pouring all our energy into them. It's just that sometimes we get so engrossed in one thing that we forget about others, and only realize it when they're gone. And that's when we start looking for balance. In fact, if we knew how from the beginning, we would already have that balance. There's so much more I want to share, but I guess it's getting late. It's already 11 p.m. I hope this episode, delving into such deep issues, emotions, and things I wanted to share with you all, will help you find balance for yourselves. And essentially, San hopes you can grow more and find meaning in the future. If you found this episode helpful, please don't forget to leave a like or a comment to let San and the mysterious co-host know. Goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episodes.